Hola, hola. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Coming at you with part tres, of what makes you so fucking special. Story of my life, or my journey so far. Where I left off was telling you about my oldest brother, George, aka Gordo. Today is March 10th, the day I actually found out that he had passed away. March 9th is the day he actually did. Now, to recap from part two, I was telling you guys about him and how it set me on a secondary rebound. I don't know what you want to call it, a setback of life, because life has a really good, funny way of reminding you that you're human. Unfortunately, although a lot of us like to think otherwise, right? So, with that being said, I spiraled down. I didn't compete. However, I gained a large amount of weight. I went from damn near 160-ish to over 230 in just a very tiny time. Shit happens. No, I was drinking and eating junk every day. I was fucking depressed, man. I was. Anyways, so I decided I was gonna reattempt this competition thing. So I'm like, you know what? I can't do it with the loose skin. It's just when I gained weight, and only people who have loose skin know this issue. When you gain weight, it goes straight to there. It's just like all the water weight, all the bloating, you just look bigger and fluffier than ever. And even though it's not really that much fat, it's just, yeah, you get it. So, with that being said, yeah, I knew I had to get off. I had to figure out a way to cut the skin off. I had to go for it. I started researching doctors, surgeons, all in Arizona, top ones. I mean, you don't want to get a lot of friends would be like, dude, just go to Mexico. You can get it so cheap there. They're like, go here, go there. It's super cheap. I'm like, I know the whole concept. You get what you pay for. But I also heard the repercussions of such surgeries and procedures that can go pretty bad. I didn't know if I was willing to take that kind of risk. So I was like, no thanks. Don't think so. So I started working. I worked two and a half jobs. I would work 2 jobs during the week and another job on the weekends. Sold a lot of my belongings. I started a GoFundMe. I had some friends help me out, and I put everything I had into it. I was able to at least get a tummy tuck. Yeah, tummy tuck. Which sucked ass. For those who were thinking about it, it sucked so bad. You had the tubes and the drainage, and it was like, there was no bueno. Nope. But I ended up achieving it in 2013. Yeah, I got the first part done. And I was like, oh man, this is crazy. But it wasn't enough, unfortunately. It was not enough. It was, the surgeon told me, he said, this is just half. You have plenty more to go. How much can we take off you? And I'm just like, looking at my wallet, moth flies out. Let me think about that. Fast forward, I started doing it again. Started working my ass off. Started doing everything I can, saving. I don't buy me shit. I'm low maintenance. As long as I have a roof over my head and food in my stomach, I don't need the fancy gear. I don't need the fancy shoes, and my car gets me back from A to B and back to A. That's all that matters, right? It's more than I've ever had before. So I still kept going for it. There's a lot of parts I'm missing. I'm skipping through. And you know what, though? At the same time, and when all this worked, I would still find time to train. I would still hit the gym. Pure Fitness until it got bought out by LA Fitness, and I just worked out, tired and shit. They're like, you can't be doing it that much, blah blah blah. You're running yourself rabbit. My mom used to hit me up all the time. She's like, Mijo, you're gonna kill yourself. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but when I say I'm gonna go for something, I'm gonna go for it. When all you're trying to do is do something right, even if it's your own goal and not everybody sees eye to eye, who's to say it's wrong or right? My perspective in life has always been interesting. Can't help it. It's just the way I view things, So I would keep working. Bags under my eyes, tired all the damn time, still freaking pounding the pre-workout just so I can hit the gym. Who says I was wrong or right? It was just me. So, the fuck do I care? Hell, there was a time I was just ready to end my life. So, right? But I ended up doing it. About $12,500. I ended up doing it. I don't know how, because you think about it, my brother George died. I paid for his cremation and his ceremony and all that. I paid for all that. It hurt, but how many times can you start over? How many times can you give everything you got and then continue to try to rebuild and then do it again? So I'm like, you know what? It's going to happen. I ended up getting the second procedure done. Same surgeon. They did touch-ups. They're like, you still have more to go. I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking broke. That's it. That's all I need for now. I got the tummy tuck, and then I had the incisions, and then they cut my nipples off. I'm going to tell you this because my wife makes fun of me all the time. They pulled down the skin, and then they re-sewed them on. So I can't feel shit. When it's cold, this does not happen. Some of you guys are probably laughing at me right now. It's like, hey, it is what it is. So, yes, I have a 360 scar and just incisions up here. That's it. Now, technically, in order for me to be complete, I would have had to get my legs done, my backside done, my arms, and a center incision, which I've shown you guys before. I still have all that. Arms, I'm not worried about. What I ended up doing, say, forget it. Might as well fill it up. Loose skin can't be loose if you fill it up with some muscle, right? Logic. So, yeah, I got cleared. Once I got the last procedure done, my friends are like, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to compete. They're like, are you fucking serious? Like, yep. I'm going to step on stage, god dang it. If it kills me or not. But, my wife was actually pregnant with our first son. Kekwa Alfredo Hernandez. My son's name. For those of you who follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you guys know my son. If not, you're missing out. He's adorable little monster. I love him the most when he's asleep. But So yeah, my wife was due in February. I was cleared to start lifting, even though my surgeon was pissed at me most of the time. Because although I had just got this procedure done, my ass went to work. Yep. I went to work with tubes of blood and all that other stuff. And they're like, why are you going to work? You're not supposed to be working, blah, blah, blah. This could happen. I know, but staying at home doesn't pay the bills. So realistically, my ass had to go to work. Now, if anything happened, it's my own fault. But I had to do it. So yeah, and once I was cleared to lift, I went for it. And believe me, that first week, the way my body looked with all the non-workout and the I was trying to diet the best that I could. while recovering, because yeah, you need to. It's important. But my body was just not in shape. So I'm like, we need to get this going. And they're like, well, try not to go too hard, too fast. Well, shit happens. I did. In fact, um, with help from my friend Tim Art and Aaron Kuhn on helping me with some of the finances of it, I was able to. They sponsored me. I was able to step on stage in Physique, NPC Miles Production Physique in 2014. I got the cleared in November of 2013. I stepped on stage in March 2014. Now get this. My son was born February 3rd. Okay, so something's obviously wrong with me here, because my ass was going from the hospital to the gym to home, and I had the baby, and damn, I was tired. And I was multitasking, working, cleaning, doing all that. And I still stepped on stage. Now, I didn't place, but I stepped on stage March 2014. When I first decided I was going to go for it, about 10, 15 guys were all like, oh, we're going to compete with you. I was the only one to do the damn show. They're like, well, I was busy working and I was tired and this and this and that and that. And I'm like, dude, whatever. Excuses. But I stepped on stage. Then I'm like, you know what? I stepped up there. I had fun. The dieting sucked, but and whatnot. But you know what? Sometimes you got to train that discipline, so your discipline becomes better. And I felt proud up there. I'm like, yeah, 140-ish pounds gone, and my ass has stepped on stage despite everything that was thrown at me. And I was fucking tired. And hungry. But you know what, though? That competition, I got to meet, great people. I met great people. A fellow competitor, Crystal, I met her. We both met talking food on the stair climber, which was funny. My padre, I call him my dad. I met him for he drove down from Cali to see my competition. I got to meet him and Didi. It was great. I was very proud. I felt proud. It was awesome. I'm glad I did it. Despite everything, I was glad I did it. I didn't care if I placed. I just went up there and I had fun. I smiled. But you know what? When I got there, I'm like, I can do better. I can be better. I will do better. So I went back to training. I went back to say I need to put on some more size. I need to get a little larger. I want to do bodybuilding, not physique. I want to do something harder, something that takes more. And in my mind, I was thinking it. Now I didn't say it out loud because you talk about doing a competition, people look at you like you stupid. Like, what? Sure enough, I did it. So I continued on. I was like, okay. I'll fast forward a bit. I won't take too much of you guys' time. But from that time, I started to build the Beastie Nation. My friends convinced me to create my page, create me, as you guys know. And they're like, your story could help people. Your story can motivate people. You could be something to somebody. You'd be hope. And in my mind, I'm thinking, me, hope? I just do me. I just do this. I just live. I just like working out. It's better than doing crazy shit. I like bettering myself. I hated being fat. I hated being obese. I hated everything about it. Don't get me wrong, I love food, but that's why I lift now. But, they convinced me and I started it. Well, actually, I started it before I did the competition in 2014. I think I've had this page for a while now. Yeah. But I loved everybody. Everybody says I've helped. And I'm happy I have. I'm glad my life, my experience, my perspective, my motivation, my drive, helps others. And speaking of drive, I mean, people always ask me, what drives you? What drives you? I guess if you can put into things, it's pain, anger, sadness, all of it. Happiness, pride. That all drives me. Growing up from being homeless to where I'm at now, I guess you gotta have it. Nobody's gonna give it to you, So, let's continue on. I decided to go for another competition shortly later on that year. They're like, wow, are you gonna do another one? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do the bodybuilding. Work was hell. I ended up getting transferred to another division. I was doing security for a very long time, 6 years. And they got transferred because the job got bought out and they eliminated security. So they transferred me to be a detailer for a car dealership. And, I'm like, okay. They're like, yeah, we like your work ethics, blah, blah, blah. You'll be promoted quickly, whatever. It didn't work out like that. No. I started training for the November NPC Miles Production Bodybuilding Show. Now, real quick, the shows in NPC Miles Production here in Arizona are not 1-day shows. No, they are fucking 2 days. That means, and here's a kicker, they're both in the evening. So if you're gonna compete here in AZ, you got to be prepared for that. Unless you're gonna do the very, very small shows they have before the big show. That's a 1-dayer. That's in the morning, 1 day. That's it. No, the big ones, they're fucking 2 days. You go in, they all both start in the evening, around 5 to 6. Okay? Shit. So you got to hold that whole freaking load and deplete and everything until the evening, compete, do what you got to do, come back the next day, do it again. And then if you have a photographer, if you're trying to get pretty pictures, because like everybody's all like super ripped when, they do a show, so they have to take the photos, right? That's usually where those people come from. They do the dieting and then they do the photos shortly after. Because you can't sustain that kind of look for no more than that short period. Because it is not healthy. It is very taxing on the body. So just be aware of that. So yes, 2-day shows here. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to go for the November one. Which is another big one. They got 3 big shows here in Arizona. March, July, and November. I did the March one. Yeah, I placed 14 out of like 20, which wasn't bad. Now the bodybuilding one, I'm like, I gotta do bodybuilding. That means it takes harder training, harder dieting. You have to do the 9 mandatory poses. So I'm at work, and in between my breaks, I'm flexing. Yep, you have to flex, seriously. I'm not even gonna go into that. You have to flex. You have to do the whole 9 yards. Now you would think that things would just be simple, but no. They weren't. No, of course not. I ended up having to move, and then my job after 8 years decided to let me go. And I was just weeks before competition. So how the hell was I going to pay for it? Most people would be like, well, that's it. You don't do it. It's over. But no, not me. I decided to get my ass and started hustling. I'm not afraid to work. Doing favors for people. Drawing portraits. I started helping people move. I started, selling my stuff again. I started doing all the necessary things because I said I was going to step on stage, damn it. And you know what? I fucking did. I did. Yes. I stepped on there in bodybuilding, and you know what? Although harder, and by myself, I was never a part of no fucking teams. Let me tell you something about that real quick. When you're a part of a team, you're with teams. You got the coaches, the teams love you, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's all buddy. When you're not part of a team, you're right there in the corner sitting down just waiting. You just wait. You're by yourself. You know. And again, my friends and family came down, and I stepped on stage. I even have a routine that I did. I posted it on YouTube and all. I had fun. I won it. You know, guy before me was like super drained. He was like, dude, he did his flexes, walked right off. I went up there. I said, let's go have some fun. And I was dancing pretty much. I went out there. I was dancing. I was having some fun. And the guy after me was all like, I gotta follow up with that. Yeah. He goes, oh, this is gonna suck. Same thing. Went up there, did a couple. He didn't even finish his song. He was just halfway through. He's like, fuck it, I'm out. And he walked right out. And then when they called us back, the funny thing is, NPC fucked up because one of the guys, he was so out. He was like, you know, I'm going home because I know I'm not gonna play. So I'm going home. Why waste time? I'm gonna go home and eat. Well, obviously he failed to tell them. So when I walked out, they started introducing the guy before me. And everybody's like, that is not who that is. Okay. Nope. But I did better. I was actually, and I knew where I messed up. It was in my posing. You know, I had good flexes. I had a good routine. You know, I was supposedly, according to the feedback they gave me, I was too dark, even though they recommended the tanning people. And then I was off a bit on my posing. But I got 11 out of 15. Was it out of 15 or 16 people? I got 11th place. Had I done better, it would have been better. But I did better this time than the last. I was leaner. I was at 163.5 was my weight on stage, middle class. You know, I did great. In my mind, I did a lot better. I still had fun. My mom was still worried about me. She was like, "Yo, that's so, your face is all skinny. I don't like it. You need to eat." But yeah, I stepped on stage despite, again, more obstacles being thrown at me. It's amazing how every time I want to go for something big, and you would think it's not that important, the world has to get super difficult. And for those who want to do dieting, let me tell you something. Dieting's not hard. Training's not hard. It's your surroundings that can get hard. You know, the world usually seems to be like, hey, you can have a bite of this, you can have this, you can have that. It doesn't work that way. When you're serious, you stay dedicated. You know, eliminate the distractions, eliminate the temptations, and things work a whole lot smoother. Now, of course, you can't eliminate all obstacles, so quit being a little baby about it. I just don't know how I do it sometimes. I just do. Take it one day at a time, right? One day at a time. So, yeah, that was that. We're a little over 23 minutes. I'm going to fast forward a little bit more. And we come into 2015. 2015. My son's about to be, what, 2? No, he's about to turn 1. Yeah. Wow. My son's now 3 years old. 2015, we turned into 2015, and I'm sitting there. I'm jobless. My little brother decided, you know, he was gonna be a dad. You know, being coming from a broken family, coming from where we come from, you know, you would think that wouldn't be that big of a deal, but it's a big deal for us because it's a chance for us to reconnect family. It's a chance for us to build our own family. It's a big thing. So my little brother was excited about his daughter. You know, he told me his name. We were sitting down February 3rd on my son's birthday. And he's right there. He's playing with my son, and my son grabs my expensive watch, and I'm like, it's okay. He's all like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. We're sitting at a Dunkin' Donuts. He's all like, Javi, I just got promoted to head security at this club that I work at, and I get to build my own squad. So how would you like a job? You gotta get used to calling me boss. my little brother. I'm like, you stupid. I'm not calling you boss. He's like, we can't be no punk. Can't be no easy going. I'm like, man, my reputation is not easy going. Don't worry, I can handle mine. And he was so proud, you know. I'm gonna give you a quick gist of my little brother. He's 2.5 years younger than me. His name is Joaquin Edward Hernandez, and he had battled a lot of demons. The meth, he battled it. He won. He turned alcoholic. He battled it. He won. He always said that it was always in the mind. As long as your mind is strong, you know. And although he went through it, he battled it and he won. He even had to go to jail for a year because he fucked up. And he came out and he says, I'm gonna get my shit together. And he worked. He worked hard. You know, he ended up getting a job at this club and he ended up climbing his way up and he got promoted and he was super happy. He was about to have a daughter. And February 3rd, we're sitting down and my little boy breaks my watch and he looks at me. He's all like, damn, that's Goodwill status now. And I'm just looking at him and say, you know, I say, all right, man, I'll go and I'll fill out my application and I'm ready to work, man. We can do this. We're gonna work together first time. My little brother and me. He gonna be a dad, I'm a daddy. You know. February 4th. I find out that shit all changed. My little brother. February 4th, 2015, my little brother was shot and killed by the cops. Now, was he guilty? No. Here's what happened. The cops were after his friend who he was traveling with to go see somebody. And the cops had blocked off the streets. And they were after the friend. Not him. Just the friend. The friend had violated his parole. The friend was on the run. And my brother was trying to help him turn himself in. The friend pulled the gun out. And the cops opened fire. Yeah. I'm not going to get too much into detail about it. But February 4th, my little brother was taken from me. So like I say, how much more can I take? Not even 3 years. 3 years later, I lose another one. Guess what I did? I went straight to that gym. After being interrogated by the cops because they're trying to find the reason why they try to justify the reason why they shot my brother and killed him. Again, I paid for his funeral or his cremation. I paid for it. Because unfortunately, I don't come from a rich family, so I do my best. Now, financially-wise, it hurts a lot. I don't know how I do it. I just do it. And my mom is dying. She's crying. Because here's the thing. A couple months before that, we had just found out that my mom was on borrowed time. Now, they always guesstimate how many months she has, but luckily she's still with me. She's proved them wrong. But she's been sick very often. And we endured that together, me and my little brother. When we were homeless, it was me, my little brother, and her. When life always hit, it was always me, my little brother, and her. So, again, life decides to remind me just how human I am. I'm going to stop there. I guess we're going to need a part 4. So, if you like this, if you're ready to watch part 4, press the like button. Subscribe. I'll keep you posted. If you're catching us tonight, good night, sweet dreams. If you're catching us in the morning, good morning. Let's make today, tomorrow, and every count. You guys have a wonderful one. Adios.